You hear that music again, and you know what time it is. I am KODX Factor, and I am the host of The Jump Off. We are part of the Game Night Lounge Media Network, and all the guests that appear on this show and future shows are part of the Game Night Lounge Media Network as well. Thank you guys for joining us this week. I greatly appreciate you coming. Happy 4th of July to everybody that may be listening. We are going into the 4th of July week, gearing up for the 4th of July weekend. Just a couple of quick announcements. We will not be doing a show next week just because of the holiday. A lot of us have family in town, so we will be spending a lot of time with family, the barbecuing. The kids will be out running around like crazy. So we will not be in our offices recording our normal shows that week. So we'll be taking the week off. But we will be back the following week. I'm sure we'll have a lot of gaming news and goodness to get to in regards to that. But again, happy 4th of July, everybody. Thank you to everybody in our services, in our armed services, for their dedication, their bravery, for their lives that they put on the line every single day they go to work. We greatly, greatly appreciate it, and a big salute to you, to everybody in the armed services who has put their lives on the line for our freedoms and what we take, a lot of us tend to take for granted a lot of the time. So happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day to everybody. Enjoy the fireworks. That's what we're that's what we're doing. So we hope you guys do the same. Spend time with family, enjoy yourself. Try not to get too drunk. If you do, please don't. And I tell this to everybody, every show I do. If you do drink, please do not get behind the wheel of a car too many times. There are accidents that put lives in jeopardy, including your own. And we just want everybody to be safe and enjoy their weekend and enjoy their week with family and just really, really enjoy themselves and not get too carried away to the point that you put your life and other lives in danger. Just please drink responsibly, enjoy yourself, and enjoy your time with family. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We are going to kick things off. We have a couple of news stories that we are going to talk about today. One of them is going to be the Google getting involved with working on a hardware system for gaming. Yes, another manufacturer is getting into the gaming limelight, I should say. We already know PlayStation's working on their next system. We know that Microsoft has already announced that they're working on their next-gen system, codenamed Scarlet. We know that Nintendo honestly just released the Switch, so I highly doubt they're going to announce any kind of a new system anytime in the near future. The Switch is widely successful right now. There's no need for them to go on another system announcement. Just stick with what you got so far. Keep building IPs and software for the hardware. That's really what I would do with it, because the Switch right now is a success, much more successful than the Wii U was. But now we hear that Google is getting into the hardware game, or at least looking into. They haven't yet announced anything, but they are at least gauging interest. And the way that they want their new platform to kind of be developed. And I want everybody's opinion on this, because this is going to be another one of those topics coming up when everybody starts announcing their next generation consoles. Google wants to do a streaming platform. So essentially it's a platform that's entirely online. It's going to be streaming games instead of you going and buying a retail copy of the game. It's just going to stream it to your device. And they want it reportedly to have heavy YouTube integration. What that means is that they're going to integrate YouTube to the point that you can seamlessly go from like a walkthrough video that you may be watching on YouTube at the time right back to gameplay. So they're going to be working hand in hand, almost seamlessly together. That they want YouTube and this new Google platform to work. So it's going to let players jump from a play session to a video walkthrough with maybe the click of a button. Now, again, this is all just pure speculation. We have no idea what they are actually working on. They have been reaching out to developers and publishers and trying to gauge how many players, if this is something that can be viable, And honestly, a lot of them are a lot of publishers and developers, for that instance, tend to agree that this is actually a really, really good idea. Because one, it offloads the work of rendering graphics to beefy CPUs and stuff like that that are generated inside of computers and other hardware. So basically, it unloads a lot of that the streaming service can then take care of. So they don't have to build to specific specs here and there. They're going to pretty much just generate something that will be directly streamed and is only going to go to one central unit, and then it can be streamed out to multiple devices or to multiple boxes, because this is going to be a box that's going to stream. But then again, it raises up the argument. And it's going to raise a big argument and a big question in regards to how people are going to take to a online-only system that doesn't take regular retail games like it does. Now, we can look at a couple things that the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 are doing right now. Obviously, they changed their tune. They changed their tune from the way that people think about games in regards to buying retail games. So are people going to be more adapt to playing games online now that the Game Pass and the PlayStation online streaming service are becoming more and more successful every day? Are people going to be more open to playing online-only games now, especially since digital games are becoming more and more popular as the time goes on? I mean, think about it. I know a while back when the Xbox One was first announced, and it was considered to be a digital-only system, online all the time, and people made a huge fuss about it. And now if we look at how games are done today, how many gamers out there buy digital games now anyhow, or use the online game passes that both platforms offer? Not to mention, look at the amount of Steam players. And Steam is an online streaming platform, or an online platform anyhow. And Game Pass has grown huge over the past 6 months for Xbox. That was a big selling point for them. That was a contention. That was something that they brought up and talked about heavily at their expo. Games that are coming day one to Game Pass. If you're a Game Pass owner, it's going to be enjoyable to you. It makes sense. So how open are gamers today with playing stream games? How many services went to stream games anyhow? EA? What's the retailer? Not even really a retailer, but GameFly is a streaming service now. A lot of places are going streaming just due to the fact, one, it's cost effective, and more and more gamers are leaning towards it because of convenience. A lot of brick and mortar game stores, like we talked about this last week, GameStop is having big struggles right now, and digital and streaming services are going to have a lot to do with that. That's the way that it's tending to go right now. And the Ubisoft CEO even came out this week saying that streaming services are going to become a thing of the norm here in the future, and could bring anywhere to 5 billion players to a platform. If that is the case, an actual streaming console could make a lot of sense. And is this the way that Xbox is going to be going with their codename Scarlet system they're working on? Are they finally going to be able to kind of live to the vision that they wanted to do with Xbox One initially? Same with the PlayStation. Is their new platform going to do the same thing? Because if Google's doing what I think they're doing, and building a hardware platform that is going to be a streaming box, that could work really, really well. Again, it's going to be really, really dependent on internet and internet connections. Internet providers are going to have to definitely, I mean, we stream everything now as it is anyhow. How many people out there use cable anymore? Just regular basic DirecTV, Time Warner / Spectrum cable anymore? Or how many of you use streaming services like Hulu, Netflix? How many of you guys use those? YouTube TV. They're all streaming services. And they're all much cheaper than what you pay for on a month-to-month basis with cable television or satellite. And I can count. Now look, I have both Netflix and Hulu. I have DirecTV, so we have satellite television. And over the last 2 weeks, I'm just going 2 weeks now, I'm not looking at the whole year. The last 2 weeks, I have watched television, live television on DirecTV, maybe 2 full days, like if you count all the time that I watched it. 2 full days maybe. The rest of the time was streaming services. Hulu, Netflix, YouTube TV, YouTube Red. I use those services so much more right now than I do anything else. So why not do my games the same way? As a collector, I'm sure you still want the physical releases. I still get physical releases today. I do some digital. I do mostly physical. That's just because I like to collect some game stuff. A lot of vintage stuff I like to collect. I have really, really popular games that are even still in shrink wrap today. But in all honesty, out of just convenience, if that didn't really matter to me, if having the physical box doesn't really matter to you, the streaming services is probably the way to go. Because I'm sure that whatever the subscription cost is going to be low. Because there's no way they could put a new game on a streaming service and charge you $60 for that game to play it. I don't think there's any way they can make that fly. This has got to be some sort of a subscription-based model where you subscribe to it, and Google may work in something where if you subscribe to their streaming service for their gaming platform, you get YouTube Red or YouTube TV, something like that to go along with it. They'll kind of incorporate a lot of their different services that they own along with that. Not to mention, I love, because we do a lot of YouTube videos for our channel, I love the idea of just instantly going from a video to gameplay with maybe the click of a button. I'm sure streaming on there is not going to be a problem. That's going to be a press of a button. You link your Google account, it streams right there to YouTube Gaming. You can upload gameplay videos with the click of a button to YouTube. I'm sure it's going to have functionalities like that, especially with a hard YouTube integration with it. And I kind of like that idea because it makes the creative people out there that like to do videos and streaming and stuff like that much easier for them to do. It make it seamlessly for them, for creators anyhow. If you're a Twitch user, maybe they'll have some functionality that you can use Twitch as well. But we know that YouTube Gaming is going to be their big one. So I would love to know what everybody's opinion is on the reported Google system that they're working on. I'm actually very, very interested to see where it goes. Like to see what it would have to go with it. because I think it poses a lot of cool things that I think would work extremely well in today's gaming market. Because the industry's changing. A lot of people are doing streaming services. A lot of people are doing digital stuff. I think that this could work extremely well if done properly and priced properly. But a lot of that is much, much further down the pipeline. Now, before we get going, I have one more news story I kind of wanted to talk about just a little bit and get your guys' thoughts and opinions on as well. And that is, and fans of the Left 4 Dead series may know this developer, or if you're a fan of Evolved. The Left 4 Dead creators, Turtle Rock Studios, is working on a unannounced title, AAA title, in a globally known franchise. Now, what does that mean? Okay. So, first of all, Turtle Rock Studios is hiring a senior level designer to work on an unannounced AAA title. Turtle Rock, as of right now, has not announced any kind of AAA title in question, has not revealed anything about one. But they have job postings up there now looking for someone who can create fun encounters and awesome level layouts. Now, what does this job posting mean? First of all, Turtle Rock Studios is the developer that developed the Left 4 Dead series. They did Evolve. I highly doubt they're talking about doing another Evolve game. I think they may be gearing up for another Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead type spin-off game, because they use two things in this job description. Fun encounters. Okay? An encounter is you're running in and you get attacked by a group of zombies or something of that magnitude. And awesome level layouts. Now, if you've played the Left 4 Dead series, you know that game is based off of specific levels and layouts to those levels. They kind of follow a linear path. It's not open world. And your main objective is to get from one location to the next without dying. Obviously, I mean, you want to get through any game without dying. And it's a co-op game where you play with up to 4 people. And your main objective is to get from point A to point B without dying, and heavy on teamwork until you get to the final level. And the final level is pretty much like a showdown where you're waiting for evacuation, where you have to hold off wave after wave of some of the hardest enemies in the level until you succeed. Now, could Turtle Rock Studios be working on another Left 4 Dead game? Man, I sure hope so. Now, I know some of y'all are probably like, you know what, the zombie survival horror series is getting a little oversaturated. It's getting a little overdone. Becoming too much. You know what? I really can't argue. I tend to agree. To me, I think the zombie survival game is getting a little bit overworked. We're seeing too much of it. But in all honesty, the Left 4 Dead kind of has a different formula. Different formula than what a lot of these other games like, or Dead Rising or Dying Light, Dead Island. Games like that follow a more RPG style, whereas this is more just a co-op run and gun action survival, which I like. It's not overly long. The levels are decent in length, and there are a few different levels. And no matter how many times you go through it, it's a little bit different every time. How many of you played Left 4 Dead 1 or Left 4 Dead 2 and went through it on numerous occasions before, and every time you play through it, it's like a different experience? It's like that with me. I never had the same thing. It's always something a little bit different. That's what I really, really look forward to, especially when it comes to the Left 4 Dead series. So if they're working on another Left 4 Dead game, I'm all in. First of all, it's been a while since we've seen the series. Xbox 360 was the last time we've seen it. We've seen nothing this generation. But what they're just now starting to really get into the meats and potatoes of this game tells me that it's probably really, really far off. I honestly probably don't think we're going to see this until maybe the next generation of consoles. Which, in all honesty, a lot of the games that we're seeing, especially when we saw at E3, are going to get that treatment. We're not going to see it until the next generation, which sucks in some ways, because who knows how many years off we are from that. I would not be surprised if we hear some sort of announcement like next year, release the following year. So we got like another maybe 2 years for the platforms. Maybe 3. And we were just talking about hardware just a little bit ago. I guess one question we should have asked then is, how long do you think before we see the next ones? 2, maybe 3 years? Very well could be. But I'm very interested to see what Turtle Rock Studios is working on. Look, their last game, Evolve, was not bad. It was okay. It was interesting, was fun for a little bit, and then it just became really, really kind of blah. A lot of people tended to have fun with it. I had fun with it for a while, and then just kind of got done with. It didn't really hold weight like the Left 4 Dead series did. Left 4 Dead was a series that we played and we could constantly go back to because of the ever-changing scenarios. I could go back to Left 4 Dead right now, 1 or 2, and love playing it right now. I really could. And I think that's what fans, especially of that series, love so much. It's just due to that fact that they can. And they'll have those experiences, and they want those experiences again. I would. I do. I can't wait to be able to go through, 4 different survivors, a whole new area, a whole new world, different levels, similar type bosses, maybe 1 or 2 different ones, and then just running from point A to point B, fighting off zombies along the way. Each survivor has its own different ability and technique. Each survivor has their own, their own skill set that make them unique and make them worth having in the world. I hope they work out the computer AI a little bit better, especially if you have to go through the game by yourself and you're dependent on computer AI. I hope they flush that out a little bit. But that's a co-op game I would love to go back to play again. I'd really look forward to it. But that's my thoughts and opinions on the Turtle Rock Studios working on a AAA title. I really, really looking forward to hopefully another Left 4 Dead game. I think that would be phenomenal. And Google working on a hardware platform that could encompass straight a streaming service with endless YouTube integration. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, to the show. To make sure you like, comment on the video or the show itself. I would greatly appreciate it. I would love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on the Google streaming platform, as well as Turtle Rock Studios' new AAA title, unannounced title that they're working on. I would love to know what you guys' thoughts are. If it is another Left 4 Dead game, what it could be. What would you want out of it? Or what type of game could it be? So I greatly appreciate you guys listening. I hope you guys, again, enjoy your 4th of July. Enjoy your time with family. Big salute to all of our servicemen and women out there in the field that work every day for our safety and our freedoms. We greatly, greatly appreciate you. This holiday is for you and our Independence Day. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. I am KODX Factor. You make sure you follow us on all of our different areas and different platforms. We are on YouTube at The Game Night Lounge. We are on Facebook at The Game Night Lounge. We are on Twitter at Game Night Lounge. You can follow me personally on Twitter at KODX Factor. And you can follow us on our website at www.GameNightLounge.wordpress.com. Make sure you follow us, comment, like, subscribe to the posts and videos that we have there. We greatly appreciate everybody's time. I am KODX Factor. This is The Jump Off. We are part of the Game Night Lounge Media Network, and all the guests that appear on this show and future shows are part of the Game Night Lounge Media Network as well. Enjoy your 4th of July, everybody. Get plenty of gaming in. Enjoy your time with family. Enjoy your God's self. And until next time, game on.